fight fans, James Smith from In This Corner TV from Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas, site of Saturday night's middleweight championship fight. Miguel Cotto, Saul Canelo Alvarez on HBO pay-per-view. You've heard about the business stuff. The WBC belt will not be on the line for Miguel Cotto. He didn't adhere to the WBC rules. So Mauricio Sulaiman is here to talk a little bit about that. We'll have pre-fight reaction from the fighters, a chat with Canelo Alvarez. Also, B-Hop, Bernard Hopkins, the former undisputed middleweight champion of the world, weighs in on this fight. It's going to be a great night of action Saturday night.
We just had a good training camp in LA. 7 weeks, one week here. There's going to be 8 weeks for this fight, and all I have to say is that I'm ready for the fight. I know Canelo and his team is ready too, and let's get this fight what the fans need from us. Thank you.
Thank you. Miguel's had a great training camp. We've worked very hard for this fight. I'd like to thank Team Cotto, everyone that was involved. Thank you for all your help. And we're 100% ready for this fight. Biggest fight of the year, and Miguel's ready. I've never seen him better than this. Thank you.
Hello, my redhead friend. First off, I'm picking you to win this fight. 8th round stoppage. I think the key is that you go first. You take the lead in this fight. Talk about taking the lead and your combination punching.
Bueno, es lo que vamos a hacer, vamos a poner todo de nuestra parte para que así sea. Hicimos un gran entrenamiento para contrarrestar todo lo que venga a ser Miguel Ángel Cotto y esperamos que así pase el 21 de noviembre.
Yes, definitely. That's what we prepared for. That's what we worked hard for. We're ready to counter whatever he brings, and with the great preparation that we have, that's what we're, hopefully that's what the outcome is going to be.
I followed your career a long time. I think 2 really important punches Saturday night will be your left jab and your right uppercut, because Cotto dips into it. Talk about those 2 punches, the Canelo jab and the Canelo right uppercut, and what it'll mean on Saturday night.
Bueno, vamos a practicarlo a ver si tiene razón.
He said we're going to practice it to see if you're right.
And finally, look into that camera, tell the fans what's going to happen on Saturday night when you take on Cotto.
No, bueno, agradecerles primero que nada todo el apoyo y el sábado 21 de noviembre voy a ganar primero Dios.
To thank you all for all the support you've given us, given me, and on Saturday, November 21st, I'm going to win, God willing.
Best of luck, young man.
Thank you.
You know a little thing about strategy. I think the key for Canelo in this fight, I'm picking him by stoppage, is to be first, be aggressive, use his size, his youth. I think he needs to be first.
Where do you get my rule book at? Where the hell you get
I've been in the ring with you, remember?
Son of a... But listen, first of all, a knowledgeable guy right here. Second, absolutely the plan that I believe that Canelo is going to execute with some resistance by Cotto. We have to expect that. He's a proud veteran. He's a proud champion. He's a former or future Hall of Famer. When you have all that on the line, I can speak for age, but age won't play a part in this fight. Just what you said will be a factor in this fight. Canelo have graduated from many fights, starting with the Floyd fight. And I believe that watching him in camp, hearing what he says, and understanding that part of life and that time he's at right now where he has to deliver this time. And I see this fight being a stoppage in the 9th or 10th round, and Canelo will be champion.
Talk about the importance of the middleweight championship, something you know a whole hell of a lot about, and the WBC belt.
Well, first of all, let's talk about the belt first. First of all, I respect the championship belts in the divisions. Whether we disagree to agree, we have over the years, but we worked it out where belts were still important, relevant. When fans hear championship titles, championship belts of any magnitude, especially the first 3 or 4 champions that's recognized as the champion belts of credibility. Obviously, something wasn't worked out or anything with the Cotto side, but it won't take away from the hype. It won't take away from the significance of this fight in the middleweight, the tournament, middleweight champion, and what leads into 2016. You have 2 guys in the here, whether it's a belt or no belt, will have us here no matter what. That's what type of fight and ingredients that this fight brings to boxing fans, boxing media, and also to Golden Boy.
One of the great middleweights of all time, B-Hop Bernard Hopkins, and he's just announced one more fight, a rematch with Smitty.
With Smitty, absolutely. And he have to lose 20 pounds. I want that advantage. I want to lose 20 pounds.
So we're all excited about what's going to be a great middleweight fight on Saturday night. One of the disappointing things is that for Miguel Cotto, the WBC belt, the green belt, won't be on the line. Take us through what happened and explain to the boxing fans.
Well, it's something that is very hard to understand. We did many things to make sure that Cotto versus Canelo happened. This process began over 2 years ago. Cotto fought Martinez using the same rule that is being used right now to do a step aside with Marco Antonio Rubio. Then we proceeded. He had a voluntary defense. They had requested to do it in May against Canelo. The mandatory contender, Gennady Golovkin, accepted that. Everything was under control. And then when it did not happen in May, they used the same step-aside agreement rule with Rock Nation reaching an agreement with K2 Promotions. And all of a sudden, it became evident that they would not abide by the WBC rules, including the payment of sanction fees. For some reason, it come to this. We're very disappointed, but at the same time, we're very proud that we're giving the fight that the fans want to see. The sanction fees are clear. They are posted in the rules and regulations. They're public in the website. It's 3% of the fighter's purse. In this case, they're going to make much more than the fee that has been established. We capped it at $300,000. That was a cap, so they don't have to pay extra money. And for some reason, they're using that as an excuse. And I'm just sad about it, but I'm very proud of standing tall, that we respect the rules and regulations, that we do not look like beggars, and we are not moved by money.
These rules have been around, the WBC has been around for 53 years. I'd like you to explain, too, to the fans. We just came off a wonderful convention in China, the WBC doing so much for fighters, for the safety and well-being for the sport. But explain these sanctioning fees. They're not just a fee that's put there. They're put there for a reason. Explain, if you will, what those fees are all about and where they go and how it benefits the fighters and boxing.
Boxing is the only major sport that is not in control of the business side. The WBC, being the governing organization, has absolutely nothing to do with the business of boxing. That would be a conflict of interest. We have nothing to do with television rights, with sponsorship rights, with gates, with any of the money that moves in boxing. We take care of the administration and the medical side of boxing. So there needs to have money to have operations. Sanction fees is the only source of income for the organization. We have 50 employed staff in Mexico City. We have activity all around the world. We have seminars, we have medical research. We invest a lot of money in medical research, anti-doping research, implementation of different committees around the world. And you can ask anybody who's involved in boxing, they know what the WBC activity is.
Finally, Canelo wins on Saturday night. I'm picking him to win. If he wins, is he the WBC middleweight champion?
Absolutely. He accepted to abide by the WBC rules and regulations. If he wins, he will be the WBC middleweight champion.
See you ringside.
See you ringside, and thank you so very much.